Hey there, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday Morning Devotions. Very thankful to be with you this morning. Thanks for the opportunity to spend some time with you, and thank you for your continued and regular support of Friday Morning Devotions. A lot of you have sent texts of encouragement, message of encouragement, have commented, and thankful for the opportunity to spend this last day of 2021 with you. So as we begin the jump into our Friday morning devotions, I just want you, if you would, to comment below. Will you be awake when the new year comes in tonight at midnight? At my age, if I am awake at that time, it's because I've slept up till about 5 minutes till set an alarm, got up, watched it go through, and then went back to bed. That's about where I'm at. So I don't know about you, but if you're going to be awake or not, comment on that at the bottom if you don't mind. Let me know. Will you be awake when the new year comes in? Don't forget also to share Friday Morning Devotions on your own Facebook page, other social media pages, and to help others enjoy the Friday Morning Devotion and our conversations together as we seek out opportunities to be who we're called to be in our faith. So very thankful, like I said, for the opportunity to spend time with you this morning. So let me ask you this as we jump into this morning's devotion. Do you want to have a better 2022? It's really a dumb question, isn't it? When you think about long run, it's almost rhetorical. All of us want to have a better 2022. Even if we've had a good 2021, it's always fun to do more and do better in 2022 or a new year. So how would you like to be more productive in 2022? How would you like to be a better you or whatever, a better whatever you have in 2022? Well, I hope today, and I believe today, I've got an answer for you, but it may not be what you're thinking. As a matter of fact, today I want to crash into an idea that is counterproductive to you in the new year, and that is this. I'm going to do great things in 2022. Well, you may not say it that way, but that's what you mean. I'm going to do amazing things in 2022. I'm going to do, and you just, whatever it is, I'm going to, in 2022, whether it's not do this, whatever it is. That's what my 2022 is going to look like, you might be saying. Well, Jesus, in telling an odd story in Luke chapter 16, and I don't want to entirely break it down, but the message of this little story is that if you can't get everything taken care of you intended to take care of, be faithful in getting what you can get taken care of, and because you're faithful in that, you will show that you're actually faithful in more things. There's a little more to the passage than that, but it breaks it down enough for me to be able to share this scripture with you that I want to share today. It's found in Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. You've heard this phrase before. You maybe have used this phrase before. One who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. And the one who is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much. See, if you want to be a person of big vision, large vision, big things, whatever it is in 2022, I'm going to have to, no matter who we are, no matter what level we're at or where we think we're at, we're going to have to cultivate a habit of doing the little things well. See, that's where God really works out the hard things that we need to learn in our lives. Doing in the little things well. Matter of fact, as I've said, seems like 1,000, maybe even 1,000,000, and I know I shouldn't over-exaggerate. You know, your body is made up not of large cells. Your body is not made up of large pieces. Your whatever large pieces, your arm, your leg, your head, those are all made up by little bitty pieces. All those little bitty cells that are going on and doing what they do every day is the reason why you and I are sitting here talking and listening to each other. Is because of those little things. All those little things add up to who you are. All those little things add up to the big stuff. And so if you are going to be the new person you want to be in 2022, let me talk about some truths that will transform your new year. Number one is this. It's what you do every day, not on your Sundays, that really matters. Some of us are really fired up about the going to Sunday service. They sing, they raise their hands, they whatever. I mean, they go, they sit quietly, they are reverent, they worship, whatever. When we go on Sundays, a lot of times we think that's where we go to be who we're supposed to be. And I'm not talking about being a Christian. I'm talking about getting everything we need to get. You go and listen to a sermon, that helps you get through the week. No, it doesn't. The sermon normally is forgotten by Monday morning. I can tell you as a pastor, I can tell you I've asked people from the podium, on the way out the door, hey, what did I preach about last week? And I'm telling you the vast majority do not remember. I'm not picking, I'm just saying they do not remember. You see, it's not those Sunday activities. It's not raising hands, it's not singing, it's not quiet, it's not prayer, it's not any of that. It is the choices you make on an everyday, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute basis that really build into who you're going to become in the new year. You can call it what you want, you can try to do whatever you want, but in the reality, that's what it breaks down to. And see, it's not just what you do on the weekdays that matters. It's what you do when people aren't looking. Now, this isn't new. Now, you've heard this a million times. You know this. Who you are when no one is looking is who you really are. And if you want to change your 2022, you need to be who you want to be when people aren't looking. Listen, all of us struggle with things that we know are wrong, that we know we shouldn't choose, whether it's attitudes or actions. And there are people we would never expose those attitudes towards. There are those of you who are full of hate, full of unforgiveness, full of all kinds of struggle, all kinds of ugly, maybe impure thoughts, whatever. You are full of that. And when you're quiet, that stuff really speaks out loud. And during that time, what's going on when no one can see you, when no one can see the decisions you're making, and no one can see your thoughts, that gives you a better insight into who you are. I'm not picking on you. Matter of fact, I want to say to you, God's grace, His love, His forgiveness, His working in your life is able to cover those things and work through those things in your life. And you can minimize some of their impact sometimes, and other times you can minimize all their impact. Just depends upon who you are and how God allows you to grow. Which puts me basically in this thought, and that is when God develops character, okay, He does it over a lifetime. He's not in a hurry. A lot of folks want to be better tomorrow, better next year, better whatever. I'm telling you, I am who I am today, good and bad, because of the 60 years I've lived previously. I am what I am today because of the choices I've made over 60 years. Some of the stuff I did that was horrible is gone because I've chosen different. Some of the things that I've chosen to do well are now a part of my life every day. Not because I know that I'm making that choice every day, although I am. It's because I've made the choices ahead of time that have set up the opportunity for me to make the choices today. If you're in a position where you're struggling with something, an addiction or whatever, I'm telling you, where you're at today is about the choices you've made previously. And the choices you've made throughout your life may be informing the choices you're making right now. For sure, the choices you've made in the small stuff, when people are not looking, is what's informing and what's driving what you're doing right now. I wished it was different. I wish life was different, but it's not. And so you and I need to understand that it's the choices we make in a time when people can't see us and on a daily basis. And then the third thought is if you're going to transform your 2022, it's the little stuff that matters. I want to read something to you from Rick Warren. This is in his book, Purpose Driven Life. Listen to this. It says, we are often challenged to do great things for God. Actually, God is more pleased when we do small things for Him out of obedience. They may be unnoticed by others, but God notices them and considers them acts of worship. Great opportunities may come once in a lifetime. I want you to think about that phrase. How many really great opportunities happen to you every day? But listen, he says, but small opportunities surround us every day. Each day, through simple acts as telling the truth, being kind, and encouraging others, we bring a smile to God's faith. God treasures simple acts of obedience more than our prayers, praise, or offerings. The Bible tells us, go look at the story in 1 Samuel 15 about the offering and the whole thing with Israel and why they were disobedient to God, and why in 1 Samuel 15 God says this, what pleases the Lord more, burnt offerings than sacrifices? Or you could say, what pleases God more, worship and prayers and all kinds of religious activity, or obedience to His voice? Here's the phrase. Ready? 1 Samuel 15:22. Go look it up. It is better to obey than sacrifice. In other words, it is better to obey than to do church the way it's supposed to be done. It is better to obey than to have worship in your car. It's better to obey. Your attitude towards other people when it's trashy, I don't care how much worship you're doing, God is not pleased with your worship if he's not seeing you love others the way he's called you to love others. Matter of fact, he said so clearly in 1 Corinthians 13 that if you do all the woo, all the stuff, but you have not love, then you are nothing. Go look it up, 1 Corinthians 13. Don't take my word for it. Go look at it. And then listen to this last thing I think will transform you for 2022. It's in the times when our world is silent and our way is unclear that we develop the faith muscles that get us through life. Let me repeat that. It's in the times when our world is silent and our way is unclear that we develop the faith muscles that get us through life. It'll be that way in 2022, I guarantee you. What you do when you don't know what to do, how you choose when you don't know the choice, how you live when you're not sure what you're going to be doing for a living. Those choices will be what makes you go through 2022 better. Some will have more struggle than others. Some, at one point in their life, will feel like it's all over. Others will seem to breeze through. But the reality is that when you're in a place where you're making decisions, when the way in front of you is not clear, that is where your faith muscles will begin to grow. I want to close this morning with a reading from Max Lucado. It's called A Tiny Seed, A Tiny Deed. It's in his book, A Cure for the Common Life. And I want to close with it this morning. Listen to it. Against a towering giant, a brook pebble seems futile, but God used it to topple Goliath. Compared to the tithes of the wealthy, a widow's coins seem puny, but Jesus used them to inspire. Moses had a staff. David had a sling. Samson had a jawbone. Rahab had a string. Mary had some ointment. Dorcas had a needle. All were used by God. What do you have? God inhabits the tiny seed, empowers the tiny deed. Don't discount the smallness of your deeds. And then he goes on in his commentary below the reading for the reflection time in the devotion. He says, make a list of some small things in your life that God could use to inspire others. Maybe you want to do that. Make a list of small things you do every day that God could use in 2022 to transform other people's lives, to make you more obedient to loving others, then therefore begin to transform your own walk with Christ. So as we go into 2022, listen, do the mundane. Be who you are when things are not easy to be who you are. Be the believer that follows Christ when others don't seem to do that, even if they're doing stuff on the big times that religion is important, like Sundays and Wednesday nights. Make sure you decide in 2022 to be the one who makes 2022 better, not by doing something great, but by doing little things so that it builds a big body, so the body of Christ will be seen by the world who needs to hear the message that Jesus died for them. And the message will not change in 2022. It is not a new message. It is a message that is old as time. God has always showed his love for his people, and he's always walked with people who place faith in him. So now, let you and I make the choice in the little things so that we can make sure the big things are always taken care of. Hey, thanks for your time. Remember, comment below. Will you be awake tonight when the midnight hour strikes? When the new year comes in, will you be awake? Will you see the new year in with your eyes open? Hey, till next Friday, Happy New Year. May 2022 be full of things you get to do, some failures and some successes, but more done in the little stuff than if you chose to do some big stuff. All right? Hey, everybody. Bye for now. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.